Right now, Canada needs to do its part, and all of us need to do our part for Canada to improve our defense ecosystem, to support the Canadian Armed Forces, and really realize what Mark Carney's asking us to do, which is to step up and do our part.
With the federal government having now outlined its Made in Canada defense industrial strategy aimed at reducing reliance on foreign suppliers for the armed forces, a group of organizations has a strategy of its own, collaborating to secure a piece of the pie for our province. And joining us now, Brent Jensen. He is Senior Director of Business Development for Edmonton Global. That is one of the groups behind what's now being called the Edmonton Region Defense Alliance. Brent, welcome to Alberta Primetime.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so why the focus on Edmonton? What makes the region unique when it comes to tapping into this new federal defense initiative?
Yeah, I think a lot makes us unique. I think if I had to focus on three things: proximity to the north. We are the largest, most northern city to service the north. As we look at Canadian sovereignty and security in the north, we are definitely primed in order to do that. Scale, I think the way and the scale at which we do things, initially in energy and then branched off into other industries. Largest manufacturer west of Toronto, we do more manufacturing than people realize. And lastly, innovation. I think this would be centered around the University of Alberta and the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, the applied research they do. University of Alberta, home to CardTech, the only dual-use technology center in Canada at a university, focused solely on defense. So I think those are, if I had to choose three, those would be the three things that make us really unique.
You probably know this, but Edmonton was long known as the gateway to the north, going all the way back to the 1920s in Blatchford Field. Is this something of a renewal of that concept?
I think it always has been. It may have fallen off the radar, but most definitely. I think the push as we look towards some of this defense spending is how do we move product in and out of the north? If we look at Edmonton from a construction standpoint, home to organizations like Stantec or PCL, we build great things. We can move things efficiently into the north. Most definitely, I think there is a renewal because where we're positioned proximity-wise.
How big of a shift in gears comes with this for all the groups involved in terms of prioritizing direction? What's been missing to this point where collaboration is concerned?
Well, I think the collaboration point. I think Edmonton's always done great things. We often do it in silos or in silence. The real push behind ERDA was how do we build a songbook or a choir where we're all singing the same tune to some decision makers, making sure that our value proposition is known and it's really clear. And then how do we service those organizations, those SMEs in the Edmonton region that may not know, do I have a piece of defense? So how do I service the defense industry? And it's beyond tanks and missiles and helicopters. It's about complete supply chains. So really the push was to combine our efforts, combine our value propositions, make sure it's really clear both to our internal community as well as to those external communities, whether they be prime contractors or governments.
What does coordination with the military look like? Because as most Albertans know, CFB Edmonton, Fort Wayne Cold Lake, Camp Wainwright.
I think in that respect, they're busy doing military things. With them, it's what are the businesses that we're working with? What products and services do they offer? Are they aware of some of the problems that CFB Edmonton might be encountering in terms of maintenance or efficiency? Can they provide solutions on the base in order to enhance the services that CFB Edmonton is producing?
What kind of infrastructure do you potentially see coming with all of this?
I mean, it's obviously Cold Lake is already on the books for housing the fighter jet fleet. A lot of that expertise in construction is coming directly out of Edmonton. We've seen enhancements or rumors of enhancements at the Edmonton International Airport for Mob West. That's housing the Husky fleet of planes. There'll be a lot of infrastructure there. So those would probably be the two low-hanging fruit. Yesterday, we saw an announcement from Prairies Canada for the funding of Zero Point Cryogenics, $5 million for their quantum services, as well as Logican in their sonar services, $1.5 million. So I think we see it on a large level in terms of big infrastructure, like we see at the airports. But I think we'll see that spending go into smaller enterprises that can most definitely service that infrastructure.
Okay, if this all comes together, and the hope is that it will, but what kind of sustained boost to the economy might this represent?
Oh, sustained boost. Well, that's a tough one. I think although we're talking a decade out for this spending, I think we need to look at it in tranches of 3 or 4 years. I think the sustained boost would be number one. The federal government is telling us that this is about economies. It's about there's $5 billion earmarked for small, medium-sized enterprises, and not just to sell and buy Canadian, but also to work with our allies for the export of that product, as well as trade to import new ideas and products into the Canadian market. I think this is the beginnings of setting a foundation of enhancing our capacity and expertise on a world scale, and ensuring that Canadian sovereignty is here and gets off on the right foot in the future.
Any way of getting a read on how it might drive employment, even skill development, given the involvement of post-secondary institutions, as you were mentioning earlier?
Yeah, I think one of our steering committee members is the new Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. The solutions that they've provided industry in the past are definitely relevant and are needed right now. We've worked with a number of prime contractors and taken them through NATE facilities who are saying this is exactly what we need, whether it is diesel mechanics for maintenance of engines or welders for manufacturing new products. NATE is one of those suppliers that can provide that talent.
All right, one more question for you. Do you see any competition coming from Calgary? Or is there a degree of collaboration there as well?
I think the biggest thing is this is an alliance. It is about collaboration. Edmonton has a part of it. Calgary has a part of it. The piece of the pie here is so big that we don't need to compete with Calgary or any other jurisdiction across Canada for this. Calgary most definitely has the strategic assets that will best serve us for Canadian sovereignty and security, and Edmonton has ours. We want to work with them and every other jurisdiction across Canada to ensure that Carney's plan for industrial strength and defense spending is realized.
All right, we'll have to leave it there for time. Brent, appreciate your time this evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
That's Brent Jensen with Edmonton Global.